What's up guys, it's me TrappedGamer here back with another video, and today I'm going to be playing a chess game against ChatGPT. Using the ChatGPT system to communicate with the AI, I have begun and ended a chess match with it. In this video, you will see how that chess game has unfolded. I hope you guys enjoy. This is my first chess video, so if you want to see more like it, let me know down in the comments below. It was like, I think over a month ago, I played against ChatGPT via like its own website, and it was chaos. So it starts off okay. So the first move that it does is e2 to e4. I have this here because I have to use the custom mode on chess.com just to display how the game went down, because if I just gave you the inputs, it wouldn't make much sense. I played e7 to e5, and I am a terrible chess player. Like, I'm going to be straight up honest. Like, I am not good at chess. And then it plays knight g1 to f3. I played d7 to d6. That, basically, in order to defend the pawn from, the knight attacking. Although this is still the opening, so I didn't have to. Um, then it continues with d2 to d4, possibly in order to attack. Basically, then I do bishop c8 to g4, pinning the knight to the queen. And basically, what that does is, unless, like, perhaps if ChatGPT moved to h3, then I'd have to move out the way, because, if I take the knight now, it's just going to be taken back. So, this basically prevents the knight from moving. Otherwise, I'm going to take the queen. That's like 9 points of material, which you shouldn't leave hanging most of the time in chess. Unless it's like some really desperate situation. Anyways, and then it plays c2 to c3. It did recognize this threat, so it said it'll play c2 to c3. I have the comments on like another like screen where it said it'll play c2 to c3 to defend the d4 pawn, which makes sense. I mean, if I wanted to, I maybe could have taken. Although ChatGPT does have a queen and a knight in order to take the pawn if it does go there, I suppose. But anyways, I guess that's just how it sees it. And then I do knight g8. Wait, g8, okay, g8 to e7. In retrospect, I probably should have done that with the natural developing square, like just moved it to the natural developing square instead. Instead of knight g8 to e7, knight g8 to f6 might have been better, I feel like. Like, looking back, I just feel like it would have been better, but for some reason, I just did it anyway. I wanted to put my knights here. Well, knight. I haven't moved the other knight yet. And then, okay. And then it completely forgets. Okay, this is where it starts to malfunction, basically. This is where it fires off its first illegal move. It says that it'll play knight b1 to c3. In chess, you cannot capture your own pieces. Here, it plays c2 to c3, I play knight g8 to e7, and then it tries playing knight b. This is what it tries playing. It just, in its last move, it literally just moved the pawn there as well. And it just completely forgot. Like, this happens a lot, by the way, in this game. Which is hilarious, but kind of understandable, considering this is a bot. Moron who doesn't really understand what's going on, but yeah, it's basically how it is. I told ChatGPT it couldn't just take its own pawn, because, that's illegal. Now, it does that a lot, so sometimes I let it off the hook, but other times I don't. There's literally one square, like at some point, where it literally just spawns pieces. Like, ChatGPT just breaks chess, basically. It's broken chess. Not the bot itself when it came out on chess.com, but like actually giving it code. Not exactly code, but inputs on, like, d4 and stuff like that. Yeah, that's how I played against this thing. Um, and then it realizes that I was correct and it couldn't play there, and it's like, okay, I apologize. I'll do knight b1 to a3. Then I proceed to play knight e7 to g6. I feel like this was a stupid move. I feel like the two knight moves I made, like from here and then here, were kind of dumb. I feel like I could have just, I could have just moved it here in the first place. But whatever. The mistakes I made in the past, I'm not here to correct them. I'm here to show you how much of a moron or crazy game breaker ChatGPT is. Basically, let's see. It tries playing knight g1 to h3. Basically, what it does here, it forgets the fact that, first of all, okay, but this is interesting. It already moved its knight to from knight g1 to f3. Like the knight's already here, so it tries moving it here, and I'm like, that's impossible. You moved your knight from g1 to f3 earlier. The knight is still at f3, and then it's like, oh, you're right. And then it says it'll play knight g1 to f3. It basically just said, after I corrected it with the knight move, I was like, hey, so basically this is what happened. I said, it tried to move here. I said, you can't do that. Your knight's already here. You already did knight g1 to f3. So the next time, to correct it, it said, I'll do knight g1 to f3. Just repeating the same move with the knight. And I was like, your knight is already at f3. You literally already moved it there. And then I actually had to input the position. So let me explain how, basically this is how. So I had it like R would be rook, knight, bishop, queen. This is the position that it thinks it's in. That's how stupid this thing is. It doesn't realize that we're already partway through a game. So it basically gives inputs like that, and it thinks we've just started a new game, by the way. That's the most insane part of it all. And I was like, we already played moves. I didn't say we finished the game. And I had to clarify that to the bot. And then it's like, I apologize. Can you tell me the position? And so I gave it the position, which took me, it actually took me a while. And I was like, it's also your move. And it says, thanks for providing the position. I'll play knight g1 to f3. And at that point, I was like, oh, come on. Okay, you know what? I'll just let it pass. In reality, of course, if you're actually playing against a real person, don't just let them off the hook if they do an illegal move. Let them know that they've actually made an illegal move. Otherwise, they might get the wrong impression. And I was like, okay, great. And then I did bishop f8 to e7. What I could have done is... Actually, no, that would be a bit stupid. What I was just thinking is, if I instead moved the pawn here first and then tried to develop... But no, whatever. Anyways, I just did bishop f8 to e7, and then it thinks... Okay, it forgot that it moved its knight already from b1 to a3, and it's like... And it tried... You know the first illegal move it made? It tried making that again. I'm being dead serious. It literally said, I'll continue with knight b1 to c3 to control the center squares and prepare for castling. Okay. I mean, moving the knight would prepare for castling, although you still do have a bishop and queen. And, yeah. Well, that's also an illegal move. And I was like, where did the knight... how did the knight come from there? And then it just didn't even clarify. It just said, I apologize. The knight on b1 cannot move to c3 as there is a pawn on c2. Okay, so this is what it's saying. It's saying that there is a knight on b1 and that there's a pawn on c2. And it said, I cannot move the knight from b1 to c3 because there is a pawn on c2. No. Okay, just let me just make this clear. It could have done that anyway. It doesn't matter if there's the pawn on c2. If the pawn was on c3, then it would be illegal. But no, I told it otherwise. Oh wait, actually, no, it actually gave something different. Okay, no, so first of all, it explained it was incorrect via stupid means, which was not actually... So it recognized the fact that it was illegal, but it didn't exactly understand why. Instead, it proceeds to play g2 to g3, basically. This. I feel like that's stupid. Like, it should have just taken my bishop. My bishop's literally hanging, but I also know I'm playing an absolute moron, so I didn't bother to try and defend it that much, except, in certain situations, like, I could hardly, like, even defend it properly anyway. So, I mean, at least this is a legal move. It's just not the best move, considering the fact that, oh, I just realized, if I just took the knight now, like, at this position, if I just took the knight, I actually didn't take the knight. I waited like a whole 15 moves or something before taking the knight, and it was after the queen moved as well. Now, the reason why I could have done that is because this thing's ChatGPT's a moron, and so if I tried, like, if I took the knight, I don't think it would have taken back. But anyways, that's just more talking. Anyways. I decided that I'll move my c pawn, c7 to c6. I'm assuming, if I remember correctly, it's in order to develop my queen, which, I mean, it's not a bad idea, I suppose. But I am also rated like 400 elo, like 400, 500 elo, so I'm not very good at chess. And then, it says that it'll play its bishop from g2. So it thinks there's a bishop here to f3. It thinks there's a bishop here, forgetting that its bishop is still on f1. And I said there was no bishop on g2. The nearest bishop, I put where their nearest bishop was, so it hopefully might help. But again, this is not like explaining a real world problem, because I mean ChatGPT is maybe good at that, but like I've heard, it's good at that sort of stuff, but when it comes to playing chess, it is terrible. It is terrible. Like, it's already made illegal moves. Anyways, I was like, the nearest bishop is still on f1. I apologize. I'll play knight g1 to h3. Basically, a previous illegal move again. But this time there's a pawn there, so it can't. And then I was like, there's no knight on g1. It says, I'm sorry, I seem to be making a lot of mistakes. Can you please remind me of the current position on the board? And that's exactly what I did. Thank you for the reminder. I'll play d4 to c5. Wait, I just remembered. When Gotham Chess first played ChatGPT, it did that exact same thing. It also played d4 to c5, and it wasn't capturing anything. Pawns cannot move diagonally unless they're taking something. And the only, yeah, that's basically it. That's how pawns work. I'm pretty sure the same thing happened with Gotham Chess's first video when he played against ChatGPT. It also did d4 to c5, except he had a pawn, here. Yeah, he just did. I just remembered that for some reason. Anyways, I was like, fine. I can't. This thing's way too annoying. This is like the most irksome AI I've ever had to deal with at this point. And I was like, okay, fine. Bishop b8 to d... Wait. Oh, wait. Whoops, though. That's not what I meant to do. Anyways, I did bishop... Wait, no, not bishop. Knight b8 to d7. Yeah, that's what I did. And then it said that it'll play bishop f1, recognizing that the bishop is here, to b5. Okay, that's a legal move at least. However, it does hang a... Sorry. It does hang a bishop. Like, it does hang that bishop, but it said that it'll play bishop f1 to b5 to pin the knight on d7 and attack your bishop on b7. What? It, I mean, first of all, it thinks there's a bishop on b7, but from here, you cannot attack unless you think there's a bishop here, and you're planning to, like, move to a6 or c6, but no. There's a pawn here, ChatGPT, and it doesn't seem to recognize it. It only recognizes that that my knight is quote-unquote pinned. Yeah, And I was like, okay, fine. And then I played queen d8 to a5. This is where things start. No, you know how there was already legal moves, but I feel like I could justify those a lot more. This is like the first illegal move in this game where I actually can't even justify why ChatGPT did this, but it did this anyway. And this is absolutely illegal. First of all, it says there is a rook on d1. You will not believe what move it made. How about rook d1 to a5? This moron broke the game. It is bending the laws of chess, literally. And I'm pretty sure that's quoted from Gotham. That's what he said as well. Gotham Chess did, I believe, say that. First of all, no piece can move like this. This isn't even a proper diagonal. Like, not even the knights can move like that. And the knights are the only pieces that cannot move horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. So yeah, that's not even a possible move with any piece. Um, so I was like, fine, I'll just let it pass. I'll let it slide. And then I proceeded to simply attack the rook, b7 to b6, with, of course, intentions of taking. Now, wait, hang on, let me check. Okay, so, before the rook d1 a5 thing, I could have taken the bishop. What I didn't take the bishop. So the position was like, I believe this, and my queen was here. There was a bishop still here. Oh wait, no, hang on. Oh wait, no, hang on. So, queen d8. Oh, okay, no. This is the position. Okay, this was the position. I played. No. At first it played, bishop f1 to b5. The next move I could have just taken. Oh yeah, I already mentioned that. But I seem to have not noticed, and then this happened. This was initially a queen, might I add, but it thought it was a rook and took it. And then I moved my pawn up. Now, this is where we are right now. Okay. Now, it plays knight f3, fortunately recognizing that, yes, that there is actually a knight on f3, to d2, to reposition the knight and prepare to castle. Okay, first of all, if it was playing to castle kingside, it could have already done that. Like, even when the knight was here, it could have still done that. It could have still castled kingside. And if it wanted to castle queenside, that actually wouldn't help, because you're literally blocking the bishop from, like, it was like, this was the position. These were the only squares the bishop could have moved to in order to actually allow castling queenside. But no, it thinks that it will help with castling. This is ridiculous. This is just ridiculous. Um, and then I play. Oh, and then I finally noticed pawn. Oh no, actually I didn't finally. Wait, no, yeah, then pawn b6 to a5. Fortunately, I did notice the rook, obviously. I noticed the rook. I'm more prone to noticing rooks than knights. I don't know exactly on the next move if I did take, but I'll get to that, because I'm scrolling through right now the entire conversation. I have it saved on chat.openai.com. Uh, and then it proceeds to play... Oh my god, for the love of... well... This time it's not a rook, but a pawn. b2 to a5. Capturing... Wait, hang on. Oh yeah, to capture your pawn and open up the b file. ChatGPT, you have a bishop. You have a bishop still blocking the b file. So, in order for that to make sense, you would need to move your bishop first. And because you haven't, I have the chance to play rook a8 to b8, which is exactly what I did. That was my next move. it plays rook d1 to d2. In case you're wondering, that's this. So, you know how earlier on, like, the most outrageous move, I feel like, me personally, I think this was the most outrageous move, the rook d1 to a5 capturing the queen. Well, it does rook d1 to d2, capturing its own knight. And then it says that it will play this move to connect the rooks and prepare for a possible invasion on the second rank. I mean, invasion? ChatGPT, you're on the side with the second rank, though. Invasion? Are you sure about that? And, yeah, anyways, I do bishop, g4 to f3. Finally moving that. Finally moving. Although, the queen's no longer here, I can still take the rook, and I'm pretty sure that's what I saw. The possibility to take the rook. I, then noticed that I swear, D2 is just, what the hell is going on with D2? It first said, and then it says Queen D2 to F4. First of all, it there was a rook here that took its own knight. There was a queen here, but then that became a rook. And then that rook teleported away. Then another rook spawned here, captured a knight. And then in the square where the knight was captured, a queen spawned and moved here. Why? What the hell is going on in this game? This is absolutely bending the rules. It just spawns pieces. Like, it's not even a promotion either. I mean, the closest one to promotion is this, but I mean, that's probably not going to happen, because if I just move this here, then, I mean, I suppose the bishop could take and then move, but then, or I could just move the rook back, but anyways, that's not really related that much to the current game itself. I'm not here to do a deep, like, analysis and whatnot. I will point out, like, some moves that I could have done, but I didn't do. Anyways, and then here I proceeded to take the rook. Like, that was why I moved from here to here. It was just to take the rook. Just steal the rook. For some reason, this is when ChatGPT starts to think I made an illegal move, but because it says that my bishop was currently on g4. No, my previous move with the bishop was getting it from g4 to f3. It didn't seem to consider that, apparently, but then I re-explained it, saying that before bishop f3 to h1, I moved the bishop from g4 to f3. Then it apologizes for quote-unquote confusion, and then these rooks, man. These rooks. Rook d2 to h2 to capture the bishop on h1. And yeah, that's it. Oh my god. Oh, it also, yeah, might I add, it didn't just completely, like, it didn't just spawn in. It teleported through the pawn on f2, which still hasn't moved. Oh my god. And then I do knight, oh yeah, knight g6 to f4. I think what I should have done instead is take with the pawn on e5. That would have been the better idea, because I'm gonna probably lose my knight, but I'm also dealing with this moron called ChatGPT, so yeah, this psycho who bends the rules. Anyways, and then it says, I didn't see that coming. You know what? This is where it gets really stupid. It gives a check. The next move ChatGPT thinks is an actual check. This is weird. You know what it says? It says that it'll play G to H7 check. And it didn't, like, it took me a few seconds to realize that for some reason, it probably thought that I castled kingside. Because it said after that, with my pawn, to force your king to capture it. Okay, first of all, even if my king was here, that doesn't force a capture. I can just move. I can literally just move to the next square. So that doesn't even make any sense. So yeah, that was just that made zero sense whatsoever. It's basically what happened. And then I was like, okay, fine. Knight f4 to d3. A check. Well, actually, it's a fork. Oh, I just saw this. Yeah, the rook can just take the bishop. Although the knight's defending it. But anyways, this analysis I don't need to worry about. But okay, so this is a check. When I initially gave check here, it didn't acknowledge that it was a check. So technically, the game could have possibly been over had well, I mean, it actually kind of like the first time I tried to play this game, like against ChatGPT, it technically ended here because it just completely did not acknowledge the fact that it was in check. So the video could have just ended here, but no, I was like, no, that's ridiculous. Like it didn't even know it was in check. That would be unfair. And so, as the kind soul I am, although I shouldn't have been, this moron's made so many legal moves. It's really not worth it, me being that nice. I told it that it was in check when it tried to do a different move. Um, and then what it tried to do was rook h2 to d2. So remember how this rook it initially came from d2? It tries moving that back. Again, that's not acknowledging the fact that, you know, the knight's giving a check. Um, and I had to explain that it was in check. I was like, knight f4 to d3 was a check on your king, who's on e1. You cannot move rook h2 to d2 because there's a pawn on f2. But I also, are you sure you know that you're in check? And then it says, you're right, I apologize for the mistake. And then it plays king e1 to f1. So it after I told it what to do, it reacted correctly. And then I proceed to do bishop e7 to g5. Then it does f2 to f3. And this is weird. To chase away my bishop from g5 and prevent any future pins? Wait, what? Pins? Excuse me? To chase away your bishop from g5. You're a pawn, not a knight. You can't do that. This is so stupid. Oh man. Oh my god. And then I decided, oh, the knights see each other when I made that move. And it did f2 to f3, so it could have, what it maybe should have done was just take the knight. Like, I mean, not knight, bishop. It should have just taken the bishop. But it didn't. It just moved the pawn, so I decided to take the knight. I mean, why do I keep saying knight? Bishop! And then, of course, if this was a real player, they probably would have just taken. Although, there is the knight kind of defending, but you can also do that. But then that, I mean, if you're not careful, then I would take, and then okay, that's too much analysis. I also could just take the pawn. I could. It is hanging. And then it does, after I capture the bishop on c1, it said that it'll recapture with queen d2 to c1. God bless. Great. And then I was like, great, well that queen's mine as well. Oh my god, this game is ridiculous. This is stupid. And then it says that it will play rook d2. Rook d2 to c. First a queen, a ton of rooks, and maybe oh no, two queens, at least two queens, a few rooks. Two queens and a few rooks from d2 by itself. Oh my god. This game is so stupid in so many ways. Anyways, it tries playing rook d2 to c1, and I was like, that can't be your move. You don't have a rook on d2. Plus, rooks only move horizontally and vertically. And then it says, you're absolutely right. I apologize. I'll play queen d2 to c1. And then I told it again. Because it literally already did the same move. So I was kind of ticked off at this point. I was like, you don't have a queen. I took it. Like, I could have been even more notorious, but I pretended as if knight d3 to c1 should have happened and was normal. In reality, it shouldn't have, because I already took the queen earlier on in the game, but anyways, I was like, and then it tries to play b2 to b3 as its next move. There's no b pawn. Let's just make that clear. I'm pretty sure. Oh, this is what happened earlier on. The pawn from b2 took on a5. Yeah, that's what happened. Now I remember. And it's like there was no pawn on b2. My apologies, I'm mistaken again. And then it makes a bunch of illegal moves. Like, it makes a lot more illegal moves. I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm going to wait. I just noticed something. Okay, so I was just looking, and in one part, I'm just saying on all caps, it says, my mistake, after a ton of times, it says, I'll play knight g1 to s3. That's the move it tried playing earlier, like really early on in the game, like the first few moves, because it tried making that move when, it of course, it's most likely illegal. I'm sorry for the confusion. Yeah, thanks, ChatGPT. You're correct. There's no knight on G1. And it finally. Oh, no, it doesn't. No, no, it still goes. I swear, it makes I swear, like 15 illegal moves. Then I have to re-give it the position of the entire game. Um, okay, and then it does bishop b. Okay, finally, thank God, it actually makes a legal move. It says that it will play bishop b5 to e2. Yeah, that. Then I was like, okay, that was weird. Knight c1 to b3. Probably to take the rook, that's what I was thinking. Also, my knight and the bishop is literally just hanging. My bishop's trapped. It's like, this bishop on h1 is just trapped. It's ironic that I'm named TrappedGamer, because I am a gamer who has a trapped bishop. Oh, oh my god. And then it gives the position for some reason. And then it tries playing g7 to g6. And I was like, that's my pawn. You can't play that. And then it does the BS of being an AI. It says, as an AI language model, I don't have access to the previous moves of the game. I already gave this thing the position multiple times. Can you please provide me with the current position? This is great. The board is updated after I gave it the position again. I'll play knight g6 to f4. Wait, g6 to g6 to f4? What? What? G6 to f4. And I was like, oh wait, hang on. Oh, I think what happened was it viewed it from the other side. Hang on. Where was g6? Oh, here? See, there's a knight here, but that's my knight. So I think when I gave it the input, it was flipped. So I actually gave it the input flipped. So this is from my perspective, and white is, ChatGPT, and I'm the black pieces. Anyways, oh, there's what happened. Okay. So it kept giving more and more and more nonsense, and the game's over. No, the game's over. This next thing it tried to do, like I kept arguing it like 6 times, and then it was like I was like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. It's your move. You gotta do something, man. Come on, your turn. And then it says it will play. At this point, I'm just like game over. Rook f1 to f2, captured its own king, and I was like, oh my god. God damn it. I was like, I give up. You captured your own king, which technically means I win. Um, Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Now, because I despise this AI so much for making illegal moves, this is what happened to my respect after it started firing off illegal moves.